All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming this morning. Again, I'm so excited to be teaching all of the holistic health things that I am learning, that I know. Again, I've been doing holistic health for, man, since I was about 19 years old when I first started my Dr. Sebi journey. That is how I became into all of this and started learning and wanted to know more. And I officially got certified back in 2022, I believe it was, with nutrition health. And I didn't know I could get certified. I didn't have any idea that there was certifications and I could become a practitioner and I could really learn and teach. So once I found that out, I started teaching. I opened up a private practice and I started trying to educate other women, other children. I started working on womb care, and now I'm ready to start certifying other women so that they can begin to work with womb care. So that's just a little bit of background and what's going on. So let's get started. Let's go to our first document, which is just talking about the different blood types today. So I have a lot of fun with the blood types. I wasn't initially taught about blood types when I was first learning about nutrition. Now, I knew that your DNA, your blood, your white cells, your sugar, glucose, all of that plays a major part in your nutritional health. But it wasn't until I started attending other continued education classes like Eat to Beat Disease by Dr. Lee Williams. Fantastic class. And then I started reading a little bit more and started learning, oh, okay, well, all of this plays a part with each other. It's all meant to empower you, it's all meant to teach you and give you options. So, a lot of holistic health is more of adding into your life rather than subtracting. And how can you replace? How can you substitute? So, it's really important that we begin to substitute things, which is why I started with the Yuka app and we started with food. Because if you feel good, it's because you're eating good. If you look good, it's because you are eating good and you have options. So I wanted to make sure you guys had those options. So starting here with the pre-diabetes cheat sheet, the reason why I feel like this is important for everyone to have is because it's one of those silent creeps. It just comes up out of nowhere. All of a sudden, boom, you're pre-diabetic. And you're like, I'm so skinny. I eat healthy. Or I knew I was a little big, but I didn't think I was that big. Like you hear all different things and you're like, how did I get to this point? And it's small ingredients that get you to these points. So I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a cheat sheet for the household because this applies to your children. This applies to your grandparents if you're taking care of them, or your parents, depending on your age. And so you want to make sure that when you're having holiday fun and you're eating on vacation, there's just some things to empower you and to allow you to say yes and no and have that full choice. So that is why you have that cheat sheet. Now, of course, it's a little tricky to figure out sugar replacements. Did I give you the sweetener? Yes, I did. Here we go. The natural sugars and what's friendly, right? We want to make sure that we have the friendliest to our body. It can be tricky to find out what's going to work for us. So I want you to start documenting your journey. I want you to start tracking. As a woman, you need to track. Men can get away with not tracking because men only have daily testosterone cycles. But women have monthly cycles, and we have to track because we go through phases. So it will empower you to know what's going on in your body and what you're eating. So I please, if you don't do nothing else in your life, track. That is my number one practice when I'm sitting with my clients and my patients. tracking, tracking, tracking. Why? Because it gives you back your power. It does not allow any doctor to downplay any of your symptoms, and you don't feel crazy when you know that, you know what, I had this mango and it did make my stomach bubble a little bit. Why is that? Maybe I can have it warm, but I can't have it cold. And so it helps you begin to take your journey a little bit further and respect your body. And that's the first thing in a holistic practice, is honoring your body and respecting your body. So does that make sense, guys? Let me check in the chat really quick. All right. So if you have any questions or if I'm going too fast, please just let me know. I'm going to try to stay under our 1 hour minimum so that I can respect everyone's time. If for some reason I don't see you in the chat, please come off mute and interrupt me. This is interactive, so you guys are fine. All right. So we got our sugars. Now let's get to the good stuff. Now, blood type O. If you know your blood type and you've been doing your challenges this week, then you know you are the meat eater. You are the hunter. You are the go-getter. You are allowed to eat the meat. You don't need that much vegetables. You don't need that much carbohydrates. You just don't need it. Do you need a healthy balance? Absolutely. Would I tell you not to eat vegetables? Of course not. That would be against my whole practice. So I would never tell you as such a thing. But I want to empower you to begin your day with something solid, or maybe even for lunch. Maybe we're not eating beef for dinner. Maybe we're not doing that, right? Maybe we are going to allow ourselves to eat. I'm sorry, I don't know if this is in your guys' way. Let me put view mode. Let's do full screen. There we go. So I don't know that it's not going to make you feel very lethargic throughout the night. So maybe eating a heavier meat in the morning so that you can burn off that protein is really going to work for you, right? That is type O. And as you saw in our challenges, you got to learn a little bit more about that type O. And although some people are like, I don't eat seafood, or I don't want to eat certain meats that are heavy and lean, your stomach acid can actually handle it, right? Your stomach acid can actually handle eating something like beef. Now, as you can see, I gave you the best, the top, right? Because I wanted you to have a basic cheat sheet to pull from. But of course, there is more details where you can choose other things. Y'all like my emojis? I was so cute with my emojis, right? I was like, I love y'all. So I'm going to be real cute, and I'm going to try to stay consistent with being real cute for y'all. I was having too much fun on this document. But I put the emojis. I wanted it to be fun because it can be hard sometimes looking at something and being like, dang, I don't really eat meat. Like if I would have found out that I was blood type O as a vegan, oh my God, my feelings would have been crushed because I naturally gravitate towards vegetables. They make me feel good. They give me energy. Carbohydrates give me energy. It doesn't make me feel tired like somebody else with a type O. And because it can be very exhausting and very tiring after eating certain carbohydrates, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, oh my God, I didn't even have bread today. Why am I so tired? Why am I so frustrated with my life? Why can't I eat healthier? I'm choosing to eat healthy and still I feel so exhausted. Well, things like wheat play a major part in it. Dairy. Let's talk about dairy. Now, we talked about this with the Yuka app. I am not a fan of dairy. I am not a fan of dairy whatsoever, especially milk. I always say, if you can do a plant-based milk with healthy cereal or healthy oat milk, that's a win-win. And then you can have some cheese. But if you're going to eat cheese, why not eat a high quality cheese that's going to benefit your body type? Because you have to digest. The whole point of learning about your blood type is learning how your body works, learning about your DNA, your stomach acid, your organs, how you digest, your metabolism. Everyone should have taken the metabolism test. Someone said, neither am I. Okay, so make sure that you're paying attention to how these foods are making you feel, because you might like cheese, you might like yogurt. What's the best yogurt and the best cheese for you? Maybe you don't make a traditional macaroni and cheese. I actually don't eat macaroni and cheese anymore because cheese just does not work well for my stomach, because it is just a solid. It's just solid again when it goes back into the intestines, and that's extremely uncomfortable to try to pass. And then if you're experiencing IBS, PCOS, if you have GERD, if you have celiac disease, if you have other conditions, you really need to consider what you're eating, because some of those conditions can be replaced and some of them can be eased, right? You can make a disease worse, right? You can make it worse and make it turn into something else. It can become progressively worse, right? Then you could also make it better. There's some things that are for life, right? And then there's some things that you can live more comfortably with, right? So we want to make those choices. So let's go to another blood type. Let's go to blood type A. Let's do emojis because this is more fun. All right, so highly beneficial vegetables for blood type A. Immune and digestive, right? Immune and digestive is really big for blood type A. Blood type A is typically a vegetarian, right? They're typically the person who needs to be eating more vegetable and less meat, especially lean, fatty meats, right? So they really benefit from things like lentils, black beans. They benefit from peanuts, which give you a lot of protein, right? But you want to make sure you're getting the most quality and best protein you can get. So if you're going to be eating peanuts, you don't want it to be a bunch of sugar. So that's where the Yuka app and this come hand in hand, because now you can shop according to what actually makes your stomach feel good. What can your stomach acid actually digest? See, that's not something we ever talk about, is that stomach acid. But now we are talking about it, right? We are able to make a conscious decision. And now we can understand why our 2-year-old is running around the house crazy after a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, when we probably could have gave him a more quality peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We're wondering why our daughter is a little bit more frustrated, right? When it's right before her menstrual, but she's craving certain things when really she needed the vitamin, not the actual craving. So that is why you see with type A, they have a lot of variety when it comes to the plant based. Now, as you can see, their best animal protein is actually meat. It is actually meat. And so it has salmon, right, which is seafood. So it's still going to be, I'm sorry, I'm getting an important call. So their version of quality meat is going to be mainly seafood. So their animal protein is seafood. Now, that's a little tricky because most people are like, oh my God, I don't want to just eat seafood. I want a little bit of meat. Or you have people that are seafood lovers who have no business really even eating seafood. It's irritating. It's constantly causing problems. They know they're allergic. How many people do you know that are allergic to seafood or shellfish and they still make themselves eat it because it is so good? We all have that friend. We're like, stop. Okay, we don't have no EpiPen with us today. You're not going to the seafood boil. Stop. So typically they might be type A. They may have a craving for it, or they might be AB. So let's go to AB. Well, actually, let's go to B. Let me stop skipping around. Let me go to the cute one. So type B, right? So type B is going to be a little bit of a mixture, but as you can see, a common theme here, right? Some of the best quality meats are beef, venison, and lamb, right? So venison is quality meat, right? It's not the easiest to get into the grocery store. You have to go to a butcher place to get some of these quality meats. Cod keeps reappearing in all of the blood type. So there's just some meats, some animal proteins that are just universally just good, right? So if you know that universally it's just good and you don't know your blood type, then start with something like a lamb, right? Start with something like a lamb. Start with Venice. Start with salmon because those are high quality. Now, you want to make sure that you get the best version, of course, that you can. But where it really gets interesting is some of these grains, right? I was mentioning earlier that the grains can make a difference. So when you're eating cereal and you're wondering why your stomach hurts, is it the dairy or is it the grain? Is it the sugar that early in the morning? Can your stomach acid deal with sugar that early in the morning? So that's why you probably need a natural sugar, right? Are you someone that needs to have a cup of tea before you eat? Right? And we're also going to learn about how to properly drink water before meals. That is also a holistic approach about making sure that you're not diluting your stomach acids. So we will talk a little bit more about that in the future because that goes hand in hand with our two best friends, which is what we talked about last week. Our two best friends are spring water, mountain water. Distilled water go together, and who else? We got distilled water and filter water. They go together. All right, so let's take a look at some of our fats. Now, for some people, having an avocado is great fats. For some people, having olive oil is another great fat. Now, olive oil is universally fantastic. We're not ever going to eat enough olive oil for our body, but it is great, right? We need to make sure we have the olive oil. So here, Type B can have a little cheese. Type B can have a little cheese, feta, goat cheese, mozzarella, right? We can have a little bit, maybe it won't irritate. Now, I'm a type B. I'm not expecting myself to just eat cheese again, even though I'm type B. So I'm not really going to be re-including that into my diet. But I have the option. I know that I have options to choose from that may not irritate me, right? That may not irritate me. Now, I deal with sensitivity in the skin, so I can eat something and it'll show up as a rash on me, and that's very irritating. So you have to just kind of pick and choose. But for me, I have to avoid peanuts. And you know what's interesting is when I did a food allergy test, they said I'm slightly allergic to peanut butter. And I've been eating peanut butter my entire life with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or like with celery. So I'm like, I don't know about that, right? But then she said it's internal. She said it's internal. I love cashews. What do you mean somebody like me who is type B probably shouldn't be eating cashews? When you learn the why behind a lot of these, which is something that I chose not to go into detail with, just so that you could have the cheat sheet and you can choose for empowerment. But when you learn the why behind the stomach acid and what it can cause and what it can do when it's being digested, you're like, oh, maybe I don't want that. And there's a couple of books on Amazon. Please feel free to go learn. There's a book called How to Eat by Blood Type O, and then each one broken down in its own book. And then there's one master book as well that has all of it. I encourage you to go purchase the book. You can get it on Kindle. I have about 2 of them for my household, and it's really detailed. Like they give you the why behind the why behind the why, right? So I learned a lot. Now, my list slightly contradicts what's in the book. Disclaimer, my list slightly contradicts what's in the book. The only reason why is because I also pulled from just what isn't technically an irritant, right? So on average, white rice is not an irritant. It's just slow to digest for your blood type. And so I believe that's blood type O. You technically shouldn't be eating any rice whatsoever as a blood type O. You just don't need it. You just don't need it. You don't need brown rice. You don't need wild rice. You don't need white rice. You just simply don't need it, right? So since you don't need it, but most people still eat it and they feel weird not having it on the plate, they feel weird just eating, a steak, a broccoli, and maybe some nuts on the plate, or what else am I going to have? They want that starch. They want that potato. They want something. I put it on there because you can have it in moderation and you can begin to ease different things out. And that's where the tracking comes in. As you begin to ease things out, ask yourself, when you reintroduce it, how does it feel? Does it feel good? Are you tired? What is your emotions behind that? Let's go take a look at AB. Now, again, you guys have access to the cheat sheets to really go over them. Just want to make sure you guys have enough time in your breakout sessions. All right, so look at that. Type AB. So they live the best of the both worlds between A and B, right? So light but lean, right? They digest very quickly. Their metabolism is going and going and going. They're burning that fat quickly with ease, right? But their stomach acid is right in between. It's right in between. So some days they could eat something and it doesn't bother them, and other days they can eat something and it really bothers them. So they can be really triggered, really sensitive. But for B, no chicken, right? So for A, B, that's the same. No chicken. Now, I don't eat chicken. When I was eating meat, I didn't really crave chicken that much. I loved my mom's baked chicken. That was big for me, was to eat a lot of baked chicken and to just really eat anything that was made fresh. I always wanted that fresh taste, even as a child, which is why I really latched onto vegetables. Like I eat more vegetables than I do fruit, which is interesting because they taste sweeter. And so you have to kind of start to take a look at what is the worst on here. Pork is just not an option. I'm just going to be upfront with you guys. Pork is just simply not an option for any blood type, any stomach, any diet, anything. It's just simply not an option. It's something that you have to let go. It's something that you don't need. Now, some people are going to say, Yashawn, I don't care how certified you are, how holistic it is, and I love you, girl, but I ain't never giving up my bacon. Hey, bacon is good. Okay, bacon was good. Bacon was good when I ate it. I'm sure bacon is still good right now. I can't make you stop eating it, but if you're eating bacon every single day for breakfast and then everything else in your diet is healthy, I just want you to know that you're almost doing nothing. I hate to say that. Oh, I hate to say that, but you're almost doing nothing. You're almost doing nothing because pork is just, it takes away from so many vitamins and nutrients. It takes away so much that it's almost as if you didn't even eat healthy. You will never eat healthy enough to consume pork on a consistent basis. So if you're going to eat anything that is pork, I need you to eat the smallest amount, the thinnest amount, and I need you to get rid of the grease with it. So bacon, if it's going to be your worst case scenario, then I need it to be the only thing you eat, and I need it to be a treat, and I need it to be once or twice a month. That's even still too much for me. All right. So I want to come down to another section. Let's talk about what to avoid. So for type AB, we're avoiding wheat, we're avoiding tomatoes. Now, if you're going to avoid tomatoes, that's a little tricky, right? Find out if tomatoes can be cooked and a little bit better to digest. Maybe spaghetti isn't that bad, right? Maybe it being in a little curry isn't that bad. Maybe fresh tomatoes is that bad. You know, some of the lectins in some of these foods are really irritating. And then, like, if you didn't know, guys, this is a great tidbit. If you didn't know, some of your fresh green vegetables, if you put a little lemon or a little lime, will help eat at some of bad bacteria on the vegetables, right? It'll help alkalize it just a little bit. And so when you're digesting it, it's not irritating the microbiomes in your stomach, right? So I always use a little lemon, not enough for taste, a little lemon or a little lime to clean up some of these fresh vegetables when I'm eating them, and you can better digest them. That's a great tidbit if you're somebody that's dealing with IBS. If you have a lot of heartburn, that's a great tidbit because sometimes eating a fresh salad is not the best for you, right? Sometimes that's too harsh because of everything that's on that plant and how the plant functions and how the actual vitamin is released when you're starting to break it down. So when you're secreting, right, that's the one of the first forms because you're biting it, then you're beginning to digest it and it's going into your stomach acid, which is also shooting out those vitamins as well. All right, so let me see what my time frame, what we're at. Okay, good. We're at 34 minutes. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's get started with pairing you guys up. So what we're going to do, I'm going to share another screen. What we're going to do is take a look at, this is the clinic that I'm with, guys. All right. So Rejuven Health is the clinic where I'm able to accept insurance. So if you're wanting a nutritionist, if you're wanting a nutrient coach, if you're wanting menstrual support, if you're wanting primary care support and you're virtually, we are insured in multiple states. So of course we can help you with different coaching sessions. You would only have to pay your copay according to your insurance. But you can always hit me up, message me. If you're in a community, you can message me. I'll try to get a document of who we are already covered for in the clinical side, and we can help you on your journey. We see children as young as 12 years old right now. But of course, if you have little ones as well, we will help you with this. But essentially, I'm sharing with you guys some of the things. You just won't have the additional coaching sessions, but some of these things I do share. So this is a document that I created for the clinic that I work for. We are partnered with my private practice, and so I mainly specialize in wound care, and this is where I bring out my nutritional health. All right, so here's the basic serving size. This is what it typically looks like for a general adult. This is based on, of course, the USA requirements and what it looks like for serving size per day, right? This is what you want to have. This is what that amount looks like. Now, these numbers get really ugly. Most people are like, I'm not pulling out a measuring cup. I don't care how many influencers come on here with their cool new Amazon links and affiliate stuff. I'm not pulling out no measuring cup. I'm not doing all that. Plus, y'all want me to track. Y'all want me to put the meal. Y'all want me to do all this work, and I ain't doing it. I get it. I get it, because even when I was on my weight loss journey, which I'm actually starting back now again. So if you want to lose weight with me, join in. We'll be doing that together. It was complicated. Okay. It was complicated. So what I did was I simplified it. I found this cool document. I do not own the rights to this document. I found this document on Pinterest. It is sourced on here. Really cool, because I saw this and said, oh my God, this is such a great example. This is a better way to find the serving sizes. That's such a better way. Guys, if you're on TikTok and you can't see what's going on, join the community. The link is in the bio. You guys can have access to these documents. So I did attach this in a PDF because obviously I can't give you guys the link to this one, but I did attach this in a PDF. This is so great to start teaching your young ones, because teaching them portion size, telling them to eat half of the bag of chips is not realistic, because the bag is already halfway full. It's full of air. So to them, they're like, Mom, I'm just eating the half anyways. Now you can say, no, palm of hand and that's it. Palm of hand and that's it. So I love this. We got the fist symbol, we got the palm, we got the center of the palm, we have clutching like an egg size. I love that they compare that to an egg, because I can visualize that. I'm like, I've eaten enough eggs. I can visualize that. I know what that looks like. And then I love that they did the thumb, right? The thumb, that is so great, comparable to an ounce. I was like, this is so cool. Where was this in school? Where was this when I was in school? And then the tip of your thumb for cooking oil. And I'm like, that is so legit. That's so legit and so cool. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So what we're going to do in our breakout sessions, guys, number one, this is method one, right? This is, the columns are broken up. There's a second column down here. And each column is giving you, about your intake weekly, daily, what to choose from based on your grains, your fruits, your fats, and your optionals right here. Not every morning you need to have vegetables. Not every morning you need to have dairy, right? Not every morning you need to have it. But here's some of your bases. Maybe every morning a good grain to start off with, according to your blood type. So what I want you to do is I want you to take the blood type cheat sheet, the sweetener cheat sheet, and I also want you to take the pre-diabetic cheat sheet. Oh God, that's a tongue twister right there. And I want you to look over these different things, right? And I want you to kind of put a meal together for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. Now, you don't need a lot of ingredients. We get used to all these recipes online and they have like 50 million ingredients. It's okay to just have 1 to 2 ingredients, right? Like it's okay to say, I'm going to have oatmeal and flax seeds, and that's it, right? Or it's okay to say, I'm going to have banana, oatmeal, and flax seeds. And then you just got 3 categories taken care of. So this is method number 1. So if you like the way this looks, then you can copy this and fill it in. And I put a chart at the bottom. All the charts look the same like this, right? Or let's say you like method 2. My example is lunch, right? Here's one recipe. Here's one option. Here's option 2. So these are all examples of how you could break down what it is that you're wanting and then piece them together. And when you piece them together, you're going to bring them down into your choice box. So item 1. So you might choose raw leafy greens, right, in a bowl for lunch. You would put that down here for item 1, right? Choice 1, item 1. Then you might say, I want to jump to a fruit. I'm going to put some whole fruits, apples, and stuff inside of my fresh leafy green salad. You're going to go ahead and put that in option 2. And so you would do this for your entire lunch, all of your options. You don't need 6 options. You can stop at 3, you can stop at 4, right? And then that would be 1 lunch. So you're going across, filling out as much as you would like based off of what you're pulling, right? These are each category of options. Grains, protein, right? Grains, protein. Now we come back down here. Grains, protein. So you typically just want to choose one. Here's your choice for number 2. Here's your choice for number 3. And each subcategories. That is why I'm giving you different methods on how to choose, because some people say this is a little bit easier, right? This might be a little bit easier to read for some eyes. Choose 1. Here's an example. Here's the amount. Choose 2. Here's the example. Here's the amount. Bring your choice down into your section. Grain for grains, protein for protein. Then there's one more option. If you don't like those 2, I numbered it. I broke it down in numbers. Choice 1 for protein, cooked beans or lentil. You're going to drop that down to choice 1, protein. Item 1, lentils. Your amount that you need for that. So tell me, guys, is that making sense? Give me a thumbs up. I'm having audio issues. Going to come back and leave. Okay, I hope you're back. I hope you were able to get that worked out. So let me know if that made sense. And I'm going to work on getting you your groups. Please tell me who you are partnered with. We got to choose our partners TikTok. I'm fun like that. I'm a good teacher.
I didn't get or choose a partner.
So please tell me, who did you pair up with so I can pair you guys? Okay. So let me do the rooms. Okay, rooms.
I didn't pick a partner.
No, I practiced this. How did I do it? Okay, here we go. Breakout rooms.
I don't
Drag
have a
and
partner.
move the guests between the list. Okay. So we got, oh no, I can't see the chat at the same time I'm doing this. Okay, come off mute, please, because I can't see the chat. Assign all. So I can put you guys together. Brittany, who are you assigned to? Who is your partner?
Moni.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna put y'all two together. Okay, I got y'all in a group. Okay. Phoenix, who are you partnered with?
I don't have a partner.
My partner is Sax. She's in Hawaii and she's 5 hours behind and she's not here, so I'm available.
Okay, you're available. Okay, so I got,
The Branda
looks
Butler.
like I got two groups of two and two groups of three. So I'm gonna join in a group. That's what I'll do, and we'll make it even. We'll do 3 and 3. I'm gonna join a group. So we got Group A and Group B, and let's start the breakout sessions. And if anyone else joins, I'll begin to break us up. All right, guys. So I have no idea what this is gonna look like on camera, but we're gonna see. Back in the main room, guys. You guys were excellent. You guys did great on your assignments. I saw some of the pictures of your meals. I thought they were excellent. They were so pretty. You guys were finessing up your plates like chefs up in here. So I really, really enjoyed that. You guys have really made this experience really fun today. I'm glad that you guys are learning. Keep the cheat sheets. They are yours. You have full access to them. You can download them as a PDF. For you guys showing up, I got one for lupus, I believe, a cheat sheet for lupus. Is there anyone else struggling with any other discomfort, dis-ease that they might like a cheat sheet for? I'll do my best to get it, and I'll do my best to make it as accurate as possible as well.
I didn't end up getting the PDF out of the group chat or out of the chat. Is there a way you could send it again?
Yes.
Same here.
For you right now. And any other questions about blood type, about Yucca, or another family member? Any other questions before we hop off?
Oh, I have one question. Mm-hmm. My dad's blood type is O, and he has now that he's older, he's starting to get heart problems. So I was wondering if there is something specific he could cut out, other than what's on the cheat sheet.
So for heart, and we didn't talk about exercise. That's the part that I forgot. We didn't talk about exercise. So exercise is on the cheat sheet too. Look at how to exercise your heart, right? One of the reasons why exercising according to your blood type is such a benefit is because how the blood travels, right? How the blood travels. If he is type O and he is dealing with some heart issues, he may need to get some more high intensity workout that allows his body to pump his blood, right? But burn the fat. Because right now his heart is working overtime to push and to work because all the other organs depend on each other. And so he may need some quick at home high endurance activity based on his age and then his body's frame, right? So maybe he can't handle a 6 mile run, but maybe him being on a trampoline at home where he can get that heart rate going so that it doesn't beat as hard in a resting heart rate. So exercise can definitely help. Food wise, you want to take a look at what he's consuming consistently. One of the biggest factors is vegetable oil over something like an olive oil. And then how much meat is he really eating? And is it the highest quality meat that you could purchase? Because the more he has to harshly digest, the harder his heart has to pump, right? The harder your organs have to go. And then sometimes for a healthy heart, less sugar and flushing is a big deal. So making sure that we're having items like that fresh spring water in junction with some lime, lemon, cucumber water so that he's constantly flushing the organ so his body isn't working so hard. And that is really important for heart and less stress. A lot of people don't realize too that sometimes some of these disorders, diseases, discomfort, and autoimmune, even things like IBS, is triggered from the brain, from the stress. All those hormones that we have, which we're going to be learning more about the different hormones in the future, we want to make sure that we're pulling those in. Now, next week, we're going to talk about a couple of different herbs that are great for our intestines, for our heart, and for our overall being that we can start to incorporate. So I think that would really benefit your father.
Cool. Thank you. I did not know about the more meat equals the heart working harder. My dad does eat like an insane amount of meat.
Yes, think about it. You have to, whatever you put in, think about the form that it's in. Okay, it's solid, right? Let's say he's eating a pork chop. That's pretty solid. You're breaking down only what your teeth can break down, right? Then you're secreting, trying to get the vitamins out. Then you're digesting and you're trying to get the rest of the vitamins out, right? But then your body, your stomach acid has to break it down as small as it can, right? And then after that, it has to go through the large and small intestines, and then it has to come out. And now you're having that bowel movement. That's a long process. So sometimes meat end up storing in our body for weeks, sometimes even months.
Oh, wow.
So yes, you want to eat the highest quality meats that you can, and you want to eat it at the best time of the day. Maybe the morning and afternoons are the best time for him to eat meat, and maybe he should have something light at night so his heart isn't working so hard. And the Heart Association says to have a glass of water before bed every single night, and that's helping stop heart attacks. So incorporate that too. Keep it by your bedside. Any other questions? Oh God, now my stomach talking. Y'all hear that? All right. Well, I'm glad I was able to help you guys today. I look forward to our challenges next week. I look forward to talking about some herbs and our health. You guys are amazing and really awesome. Thank you for showing up. And I hope that this helps you and your family. Again, if there's someone that needs to know their blood type, please go on Amazon and get your kit. They are very accurate. The link that I put in the challenges. And please tell your friends they can join at any time, even though we might have passed a challenge. They can still join in and learn the knowledge. I recommend bringing your spouse in, family in, whoever is your support. Have them come learn with you, because when you guys do this in pairs or do it in groups, you're more likely to make those changes. So you guys have a wonderful Saturday. It was wonderful seeing you guys again. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.
And remember, be an inspired eater. You're an inspired eater. You're inspired to eat what feels good to your body.
Amen.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Have a good day.